Welcome back to another episode of Coffee With Khalipa, short form podcast where we dive into some optimal up this upcoming week. And of course, we should each have had a little bit of coffee. Topic of conversation, fresh in my mind, is idea of leave it better than you found it. Give it back better than the way you found it. And the inspiration for this came from a neighbor and a friend of mine. Borrowed my truck. And I've had many people over the years borrow a truck. For anyone listening who has a truck, your truck has probably been borrowed many, many times from friends, family members who need to move something. You're the first one they call. And it doesn't bother me at all. Never had any issues with letting people borrow my truck because I know for a long time when I didn't have a truck, this is many years ago, I would borrow other people's truck. And you need a truck, sometimes even for just 30 minutes. So a friend of mine borrows my truck and he brings it back to my house and it is spotless. I mean, spotless. He didn't just use this truck. He went and got it washed and super washed. And I was just so blown away. I was so grateful because it just was so outside the norm. I wasn't expecting it at all. And it just made me feel not only like he really appreciated the opportunity to borrow the truck, but also just made me feel like, wow, this guy's bringing it back better than the way he found it. And it was just really inspiring. And it really opened my eyes to when have I borrowed somebody something and just returned it the way it was, or maybe even worse. And you borrow a car and you don't fill it back up with gas or whatever it is. And it was just really eye-opening for me. And I wanted to share it here. And it goes into, borrowing things from other people, but it also goes into the way that you leave the gym. I try and think about when I come into the gym, I want to leave it the way I found it, but I could probably do a better job of leaving it better than the way I found it. That includes the garage. I want the garage to look good. So whenever anybody comes over and they're hitting their workouts, like, wow, this place looks really sharp. And, I'm a big believer in the gym that if you're strong enough to take the weights out, you're strong enough to put them back in. And I need to do a better job of even taking a step further than that. I'm bringing this up because if you're in a position where you're borrowing something from somebody, it was shocking to me how it made me feel that this person took the extra time to go the extra mile. So take the extra time to go the extra mile to make that person feel super grateful is the topic of conversation for this Coffee With Khalipa. Every Coffee With Khalipa is a little bit different, right? Sometimes talk about business, family, fitness. This one's just life, and life happens, and life goes by fast. And I think that I'm focused right now on trying to be better every single day. And this is an example of a small example that I can remind myself of to return it better than the way I found it. I hope you and your families have a kick-ass week. Leave us a rating, leave us a review, and see you again next week for another episode of Coffee With Khalipa. Let's go.